Still a little bit cold this morning. Wanted to record this while I'm still thinking about it to kind of follow on with yesterday's morning drive. And yesterday I was talking about a picture about soldiers getting minimum wage. Today, the other picture I wanted to talk about yesterday, but kind of ran long, was a picture somebody posted that had like a family in despair, and next to it was a picture of some businesses, I think. I can't remember, but the premise was, why are you not mad? Why are you mad that family, it's $26 million or $1 billion, I think it's got to be billions. I didn't look at the whole picture, but it's like, why are you mad at $26 billion of government money is going to welfare, but $380 billion is going to corporate tax breaks? Well, I'm not mad because, one, welfare is not meant to be a way of life, just as minimum wage is not meant to provide you a living. I know a lot of people who do it, and this is harsh, but if you want to make more than minimum wage, you want to make more than welfare, you kind of gotta improve your skill set, as somebody mentioned, and get yourself a better job. It is harsh. Life is harsh. I didn't get to where I am being content or satisfied with minimum wage or even going on welfare. I've never been on welfare. And some of you may know, I came to this country with literally the clothes on my back. My family and I escaped the communists in Vietnam, and we had some help along the way, but from friends and family, but we never got a handout from the government that I know of. Anyway, so my response to that whoever posted that picture is that, look, I feel for people on welfare. I do. I mean, there are legitimate reasons. That's why welfare was developed, was to truly help people. Nobody denies that people on welfare need help. Some people. But also, nobody denies that there are scammers and people who purposely don't work, check cashers, as Colonel Richard Hunter would say. A lot of scammers on the dole, and they are the ones that are truly hurting the people who really need it. Because to me, in a perfect world, you know, where unicorns bring you breakfast in bed, all the money that are going to the scammers will go to the person who honestly, truly does need the welfare. But, you know, I don't have, we don't have a clairvoyant or person who can determine whether somebody's scamming or not. So we got the system we got. So that's, the point is, what's my point? The point is, people on welfare aren't employing anybody. They're using resources. That's what welfare is. It's to help, and it's not meant to stimulate the economy per se. Yeah, you're giving them money and they're spending money to buy things they need to live. Okay, but when you give tax breaks to corporations, people think about it in terms of giving a corporation money. No, you're just not taking money away from them. And the last time I checked, I never worked for a welfare recipient. I worked for a big company or for a company that employs people. And then I pay taxes. So in essence, the tax breaks that companies get gets rolled back into our payroll taxes. So which would you rather have? An unemployed welfare recipient not putting any money back into the tax fund, or a company who employs, say, even 10 people that are paying 10 people's share of taxes? It's pretty straightforward. And why is that number so big? It was like 26 versus 380. Well, because there are a lot of companies employing a lot of people. So the distribution is not a one-on-one, just like with the military pay versus minimum wage. It's not a one-to-one. You know, numbers don't lie, but liars use numbers, right? But you know, that's my point. I've worked for a couple of large companies, and trust me, they're no angels. They're in it for the stockholders. So there are, as with any population, good people that try to do the right thing. But at the end of the day, corporations are in it to make money, and you know, if they can get a tax break from the local government or state government, where do you think they're going to do their business? And who benefits? Well, the people of that state or that local community who now have jobs who aren't on welfare. So it's a kind of a double positive. Not only when you give a tax break to a company, trust me, I am not defending companies, but I'm explaining the rationale and why it's not an accurate comparison. When you give a company a tax break, they open business in a place that needs jobs. So for the local government or the state government, the reason why it's an attractive method to draw businesses there is, one, they don't have any money to pay welfare, and two, they're actually creating revenue, because now you have a business that's selling a good or a service that is generating revenue. Versus if you don't give a company a tax break, companies won't come and open up their shop there, and now you're not drawing any revenue and you're paying out welfare. So how is one, you know, how is not giving a tax break a good thing for a community? So that's why communities do it. And as a company, what you know, in a fantasy world, again, where unicorns bring you breakfast in bed, that's my thing. If I were a company, large company looking to invest, which one would I choose? The one that doesn't give me a tax break, or the one that tax me higher than normal, or one that's going to give me a tax break? You know, in a perfect world, is, oh, you know, Mr. Government, that's not right. You know, I need to pay my fair share into the system, so I'm not going to take your tax break. I'm going to go to this state that taxes me higher, so I can give them more money so they can do good things with it. It's just not reality. And another thing I said was, don't hate the player, hate the game. The system is designed to set it that way. You know, I don't hate people on welfare. The welfare system is by all means not a perfect system. But I don't blame the person who's on welfare, because they're using the system as it's designed. And if, you know, if you don't like people on welfare, work to change the system that is allowing them to do what they're doing. Unfortunately, people in government don't want it to change. Yeah, there are elected representatives, but they're so far removed, or they think they're so far removed, that you know, they got more people who want the free money than people who don't want the free money, that they really don't care, because that keeps them in power, and they like the chaos, because the chaos hides their incompetence. And I mentioned the way, in my opinion, the way to generate more revenue for the government is a flat tax. And you know, the old argument about, oh well, you know, then now poor people who haven't had to pay taxes will have to pay taxes, and that's a hardship. That's bull. There's sales tax on everything we buy. Well, most everything we buy. Some states don't charge sales tax on food, but for the most part, cigarettes have a sales tax, gasoline have a sales tax, and they don't check your income level when you go buy those things. So poor, rich, regardless, you're paying sales tax, and people don't seem to be belly aching about that. Not as far as we're told, anyway. So it's just a system to get used to. Now, when everybody has to pay, there's the you know, there's always going to be tax cheats, but the ability for people to cheat is going to go down. Whereas now the tax system is so convoluted. You know, one, you have to hire people to make sure people aren't cheating. Whereas if it's a flat tax that's tacked on to everything you buy, you know, the price is what the price is, and you know, there's no getting around it. So yeah, it puts the onus on the person selling the product to pay the right taxes, you know, but it comes out of your pocket, and it goes, well, supposedly goes straight to the government. But the reason why we don't have a flat tax system, regardless of how good it is not that it's not good for the country, or not that it won't raise revenue, but the reason why we don't have a flat tax is because you've got tax attorneys that'll be out of business. Can't have that. You've got accountants that will be out of business, because who needs an accountant when there is no tax form to fill out? You buy something, your taxes are paid. Done. I'm sorry, with the flat tax, you made $10,000 this year. The flat tax is say 5%. So 5% of 10,000. If you can't do that kind of math, then maybe you do need an accountant. So maybe there'll still be accountants for those people. But the reason why there's so many accountants is because it's so convoluted to try to figure out what the tax laws are to keep you out of trouble, and then people still getting in trouble. So tax attorneys will be out of, a lot of tax attorneys will be out of business. A lot of accountants will be out of business. And the number one reason why we don't have a flat tax is because it will put a large amount of IRS employees out of business. That's why we don't have a flat tax. It's simple as that. I don't listen to Rush Limbaugh, but I do remember him saying, follow the money. Follow the money anytime you can't understand why some good idea does not work. Because that good idea, even though it's good for the whole, isn't good for some. And the some that stand to lose money or stand to gain money is why something does or stupid happens, or something good doesn't happen, is because the certain people don't stand to gain or stand to lose something out of it. But anyway, that's my rant. I gotta go get some road salt. Have a good day. Take care.